Hey PoE homies, JWar here with another video. So today we're going to talk about the patch notes. What happened in the 3.19 patch notes? And just to start off, not really a whole lot actually. There were some major changes to things like Beyond and juicing maps, but other than that, not too much. So we'll go through it here though. We'll just dive right into it. So this is going to be kind of a TLDR version, because I don't want to go through everything, because there's quite a lot here. There's a lot here with unique items that I haven't had time to go over yet, so there could be some really cool, unique reworks, but we had some new skill gems. Basically, these new skill gems are scaling off of Shock Effect, and it's a bunch of lightning stuff. What else we got? We got new div cards, we have new ring base types in the game. Arch Nemesis, so you're going to see less of them, basically. There's going to be less of them, and they're going to be, I don't know if they're going to be harder or not. They almost made it sound like they might be harder, but they're going to be a lot less of them, basically. So this is going to be an indirect nerf to Headhunter. So Headhunter juicing is looking pretty grim for 3.19. Yeah, we got to work with that. Old Beyond is out, basically. Old Beyond is out. New Beyond is now Scourge. If you guys played Scourge League, it's going to be the Scourge monsters you encounter. They're not going to be encountered as often. They've actually changed one of the mod tags on Beyond, and it's not going to be the same, what is it? Has a chance to spawn, whatever, 3% to attract monsters from Beyond. It works differently now. It's just going to be less rare monsters overall. So again, an indirect nerf to Headhunter. A little bit of a bummer there. Okay. I need a little bit of clarification on these harvest changes, but essentially what's going on with harvest now, guys, is you no longer get a choice of a whole bunch of crafts when you kill the harvest packs. Instead, they drop currency, and then eventually you can go to your hoarder crafting station and use the currency to unlock crafts, essentially. So I'm a big fan of that. That sounds better. I need a little bit of clarification, though. They've changed some of the deterministic crafting things with harvest, which I'm hoping they didn't take off the augment stuff. And maybe the reforge, the augment crit, the augment life kind of stuff. I hope those are still in. I think they are. Just on reading this, there's nothing about those in here. They threw this Leo's Betrayal Research Safe House Crafting bench thing in here, which no longer gives you a random new modifier with an aug. So, but it's in the harvest section. So I don't think they took out augment life, augment, whatever else it was, crit, and everything else, speed. I don't think they took those out. But I need a little more clarification because it's a little bit, it doesn't say it in here, but Chris alluded to the fact that they were taking out some of the deterministic crafting, and I thought that might be what he was talking about, and there's this weird thing in here about Leo's Betrayal, augment, rare stuff. So, I don't think that's it though. So other than that, the changes look good with Harvest. You're going to get more bosses. You're going to see Oshabi more often, and she's going to be more rewarding because she's going to give you more of these currencies to drop to use the crafts, right? And that also means you can kind of target specific crafts more. You're not just going to get whatever you get when you go into the Harvest, and it gives you this big list of crafts, and you're like, well, I don't care about half of these, right? You'll be able to target the ones you actually want with the currency. So that's better. So other really big news here is Exalted and Divine Orbs. So TLDR here is Exalts are not going to be used for metacrafting anymore. Prefixes cannot be changed, suffixes cannot be changed, cannot roll attack mods, cannot roll caster mods, can have multiple crafted mods. No longer Exalts, those are going to be now Divines. 2 Divines for those, 1 Divine for the cannot roll caster, cannot roll attack mods. So, what they're essentially trying to do, and what I think they will achieve here, is they're going to raise the price of Divine Orbs and lower the price of Exalted Orbs to have more than just one kind of endgame currency be very much in demand, right? They're trying to even the price of them, basically. And I think they will somewhat achieve that. We'll have to see what the market looks like in League when this happens, but I think they will achieve that. Also, another thing, Divine Orbs are no longer the vendor recipe for 6-link items. You can only get them from drops and the few other places you could get them. You get 20 Orbs of Fusings when you vendor a 6-link now, so they're not going to be as available, anywhere near as available anymore. Which is also, just a little note here, I'm not going to make too many of these little helpful notes for you guys because that's not what this video is really about, but that's also going to up the value of Lucky Divines and stuff from Harvest. So, and then the big one here, which is really one of the only things that got hit in the patch notes here, was Seismic Traps. So a good, I think it was about a 30% damage nerf, straight up flat damage nerf to Seismic Traps. So I'm not sure, it's probably still going to be playable, just because it was so strong before, but definitely less powerful. So I'll probably be taking out of my recommended builds because of this, but I'm not sure it's actually unplayable or anything anymore, but I'm just a little bit nervous about recommending it as I haven't extensively played it, and I'm not comfortable recommending it with this nerf on top of the other nerf that I already received. Explosive Arrow is still fine, guys. This ends up being about, you're going from 5% more damage per Explosive Arrow on the target to 3%. It ends up being 200% more damage down to 160, which is at a 20% damage nerf. That's absolutely fine for explosive arrow. You'll be just fine. You'll be doing less damage, yes, but you'll be just fine. The blessing nerf with life tap, you can't use blessings with life tap anymore. You need something like Eldritch Battery. Instead, Sniper's Mark, Hydrosphere, all the stuff we kind of saw in the manifesto. Vol Clarity, they've made a change here, so you can't do a workaround with Vol Clarity to the blessing stuff, basically. Trickster, we'll go over some of the stuff here for Trickster, as some of it seemed pretty good. The big ones that I wanted to talk about were this 3% more damage per type of mastery. Now that can give you some nice damage scaling if you have a lot of mastery nodes allocated. And Energy Shield, mana and life regained for killing stuff, 1% per mastery. Swift Killer, plus 2 maximum Frenzy Charge. This is huge. Huge for Frenzy Charge, so that could be really cool. The defenses are also looking really nice. One step ahead, basically Trickster here is getting like a pseudo unstoppable. Your action speed is at least 100%, 108%, so you're a little bit faster. By the way, that's not an 100% increase. That's 100% would be what you normally have. You're now at 108% by default. What that means is you cannot get affected by temporal change. You cannot get affected by slows. You cannot get affected by chills. So that's really nice. Kind of a pseudo unstoppable there for Trickster. Really, really nice node. That seems really good. Escape Artist, you get some energy shield here, which is pretty nice. Soul Drinker, you get a little bit of leech attack and cast rate, and energy shield leech. So, and then you get a lot of nice suppress here, which this is pretty nice to have. 20% chance to suppress, really good. And then this is absolutely huge. So what this means basically is you're going from 50% of spell damage prevented when you suppress to 40%. So really good there, and probably even less. Usually you can pick up a little bit more from a couple other places. Trickster Ascendancy looking really nice, honestly. Those are some pretty good changes. They did make some changes to effective shock, and with the new skill gems, shock scaling could definitely be a viable strategy moving forward for scaling damage. Looking pretty good with the changes they made to shock. And I'm going through this rather quickly, guys, but this is really just a TLDR version. I've got a full stream of me going through the notes more thoroughly, but there's not really a whole lot here, honestly. There's some pretty specific things, but otherwise there are some mild nerfs and some other things, and not that big a deal. One other thing I will talk about here is no Nightblade nerf, because I know some of you guys who watch my channel know I'm a big melee Lightning Strike fan. No Nightblade nerf, and Lightning Strike did get a hit, but it is going to be, they fixed the bug where you can get a double hit from Lightning Strike. So that is kind of a hit, but honestly, you didn't really need it. You didn't really need it. It was a nice big multiplier to damage there. You kind of had to stand in a certain spot, a certain distance from the boss, so you can get a double hit with it, but it's fine. It's fine that you don't get that. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a damage loss there, but it was already the best melee skill without that, and it's going to continue to be the best melee skill without that. Some Atlas changes here. Something that's notable is if you're planning on starting General's Cry Blade Flurry or a build that needs Red Blade Banner, still no Lighthouse in the map pool. What didn't get taken out of the map pool is Crimson Temple. Crimson Temple's still in the map. It doesn't look like they made any changes to the divination cards that dropped there, so Crimson Temple's probably still going to be the most farmed map this league. I will go over some of the other ones. Some of the ones that hurt to get taken out were Tropical Island, Tower. Some people maybe still liked farming Tower. City Square, Burial Chambers, Beach. Those were some of the notable ones to get taken out. Glacier is now out, although without Sentinel farming, probably not that big a deal. Notable ones that went in, not really too many, honestly. Not too big a fan of a lot of these ones that went in. Defiled Cathedral's okay, actually, for Mirror Shard farming. Duration while focused got a nerf here, actually. This is the first time I even noticed this. This is a little bit of nerf to Poisonous Concoction, that kind of thing. It's still going to be fine. It's fine without that. You're going to be doing less single target damage. It's going to hurt a little bit. Still absolutely fine. But essentially, guys, the big stuff really is going to be the harvest changes, which are pretty nice overall. We got the Trickster rework, which is really nice. And then the big stuff is the monster changes with Beyond, and a lot of nerfs to the amount of rare monsters in our maps, basically, which is a very big indirect nerf to Headhunter. So that's kind of big there, but I'm kind of okay with it. I didn't really like doing super juice stuff all the time anyway, and having that be the premier type of content, just because the amount of trading and prep that goes into it is kind of, it's kind of anti-fun, let's be honest. It was really cool to do, but it really felt like a chore getting ready to do it, in my opinion, at least. Oh, and by the way, the other thing I should mention, since I'm talking about this, is they did also say that there are some buffs to increased item quantity and increased item rarity being applied to rarity of things and maps, and I forget how they worded it, but there's basically a buff to Magic Find going on. So Magic Find is going to be very good, even though there are less rare monsters to kill. The rare monsters are going to be more rewarding. So keep that in mind. And then what else were the big things? We had the Exalted and Divine Orbs change was really big. So those basically are going to be more on an even level, because Exalts are going to be more just for slamming, Exalt slamming stuff. They're going to be less value, much less value, more in line with Divine Orbs. Divine Orbs might actually be more valuable than Exalts in this next league. So yeah, those are all the big changes, guys. Try to keep it pretty short here, but yeah, that's the TLDR. I might have missed some stuff, but yeah, try to just do a short version of it here, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.